Welcome to Next Gen Talk, Beyond Business. Join us for a special episode dedicated to Peter Beckengham's daughter, Am, who's in urgent need of help. As we explore the journey beyond business, we reflect on the importance of community and compassion. Peter shares his insights and experiences, shedding light on the next generation's journey and the challenges they face. Together, we stand in solidarity with Peter and his family during this difficult time. Don't forget to visit the Next Gen Talk Facebook page to contribute to the GoFundMe campaign for Am. Your generosity will make a real difference in your lives. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this heartful episode as we come together to support one another in our next gen journey. Thank you for your kindness and support. Enjoy this episode, guys. Hi, everyone. My name is Alpha Freeman. Welcome to the Next Generation Business Talk. I'm excited to have you guys on board. This is a new episode that I'm truly honored to have. And particularly, before we get further, I want you guys to do something for me first. That is to hit the like button and also subscribe, because I have a lot of new episodes coming in. And this episode in particular, I have an amazing person on board that we're going to talk a lot about regarding the navigation of business as a whole. No need no introductory any further whatsoever. I have Peter Beckman himself here, guys. Mr. Peter Beckman on board. And he's going to share with us a lot of inputs, a lot of details, a lot of stories and insight in today's business world. So please listen very carefully, ask questions, like, subscribe, share this content, because more and more is coming. This is how we're getting support to have people like Peter on board. Most importantly, let me introduce Peter himself. Mr. Peter Beckman, take it away, sir.
Thank you, Alpha. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. You know, the future is really yours. It is really yours if you want to take it. My advice to you to start with would be to make sure that you've got a dream that you truly have passion about. And then with that dream, have a burning desire to achieve that darn dream. If you don't have the burning desire, when you come to the first hurdle, it's going to be lost. I want to start this way conceptually, please. If you're thinking about starting a business or already just started a business, have a dream, have it real, get the emotions, have it in your heart. This is what I really want, okay? I really want this dream, and have such a burning desire for it that nothing can stop you from achieving it. Don't worry about how you're going to do it. It'll happen, okay? Just have the desire. That's the key thing. Now, you might have to change plans every now and again, but don't change your dream. Stick with your dream. Never, ever change your dream. That's the first thing I want to give to everybody. Because when I first started online, I had a dream. But the bit that was missing was the burning desire. Because I thought, yeah, maybe I'll try this. Or maybe I'll try that. Well, this sounds pretty good. And in these days, you've got so many options, right? That you can, I mean, with AI, with a whole range of issues, okay? CV, I mean, you can be easily confused. So you've got to sit down, forget about writing out a business plan at this point, sit down and think, what do I want to do? What do I really want to do? Okay, and get it clear and write it down in the old-fashioned way. Actually, write it down, okay? And then challenge yourself. Is this really what I want? Is this really what I want? Because if it's really what you want, then find the passion for it and find the burning desire and have the emotions that drive it. And once you've got that in place, the world is yours. The world is yours. All you need to do then is to get off your butt and do what you have to do to achieve the burning desire that you've got. That's where I'd start, Alpha.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Absolutely. That is amazing, Peter. And honestly, it's just a lot of people are wondering right now, yes, I have the desire within me to do what I want to do and get up and go out there and achieve this goal. But every once in a while, it kind of like fades out because, it doesn't last forever. What do you do when situations like that happen in regards to desires there, but sometimes you're just not highly motivated enough to keep moving forward?
Because you didn't have the burning desire. You were fooling yourself. You had a dream and you had a burning desire, but then you changed the dream. If you start changing the dream, you're in trouble. You've got to be committed and persistent and consistent. And it doesn't mean you sit there and you dream about it and think magically, wow, I'm going to be a success. You've got to take action, right? If this world is not one that's going to give you what you want. You have to go and take it. You have to go and take it in the nicest, most ethical and integral way. But you need to do it in the right fashion. You've got to have passion and burning desire that, and if it starts to fade on you, then think, are you really looking for the right thing? Be honest with yourself. Truly, this is the most important thing I could ever say to anyone starting a business. If you are in business simply to make money, you're in the wrong business.
Mm.
It's not going to work. Sooner or later, you're going to have a stumble. Sooner or later, you'll have not enough people to talk to, or something will fall off, or the government will change a rule, or whatever excuse you want to come up with, because that's what they are, right? Whatever it is, it's going to challenge your dream and challenge your burning desire. So your burning desire and your dream must be to make an impact on something, not just to earn money. So think carefully. What do you really want to impact? And what would that feel to you? Think inside, deep inside your heart. How would it make you feel? How would it make your family feel about you? How would it make your partners feel, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, whatever it is? Think about that. Is it possible? Everything is possible. Everything is possible. You are in a generation that's got the world at its feet. What you've got to do is optimize the opportunity, which means it's got to come back to you, right? I mean, don't worry about information. You can get it anywhere. Chat GPT. I mean, that's everywhere. What you've got to do is decide what you really want to do with a passion. And then I want you to think of these three things. It doesn't matter what you decide to do, whether you want to become a nurse or a doctor or I don't know who, whatever, a lawyer, but it doesn't matter. When you first meet somebody, right, for the very first time, who could be a potential customer of yours, what do you think is going through their head? Okay, a rhetorical question.
They're probably thinking like, was this person, or something like, why should I work with this person?
You're close. You're close.
What's in it for me?
You're getting even closer. More important, do I trust you? That's the first question. And they're never going to tell you that question, but it's in their head. Do I trust you? Then secondly, do I trust you enough to open up my heart and tell you really what my challenge, my desires, my interests, and whatever they are? And do I trust you enough to do that? Right? And then the third one is, if I do that and I open up my heart and I share my real problem or my opportunity or my desires with you, do I trust you enough to be the person to help me solve that issue? Those three questions are in everybody's mind. Everybody's mind, including yours, mine, and Alpha's, right? And if they're not in your mind, you're fooling yourself, because they're there, I can tell you, right? Trust is the new currency. That's what it's all about in this modern day, right? Trust is the new currency. So when you combine trust with the fact of what sort of impact you want to make, rather than just how much money you want to make, then you're heading in the right direction. Does that make sense, Alpha?
Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense. And I think you're just an icing on the cake there. And in today's day and age, it's just something where a lot of times, excuse me there, a lot of times we tend to understand why is it that people are just so focused on a money-driven criteria regarding, okay, I need to gain this profit, which of course is quite important. But then again, people are willing to do whatever it takes to actually do things outside of that criteria regarding going backstabbing or doing things that's not really quite evident. But once you lose that trust mechanism, it's like everything is gone. It's not there no more whatsoever. And my word, and for any audience members or listeners currently who are paying attention to this podcast, understand that it's very quite easy to lose that trust in business, but it's very hard to also gain, because it's a time period in which you have to earn that person's trust for them to work with you, for them to build that character, for them to build, this sustainability mechanism that's needed for you to keep moving forward within the business. And once you have that, you're willing to do whatever, go miles along the way to actually help you and assist you throughout the whole process. But once that trust is gone, it's it's no longer there no more. It's like, okay, you're
And
just
you can
talking,
lose it like that.
just like that,
Just
just
like,
like that.
and by the way, when you lose the trust, guess what else you lose? Your reputation.
Reputation, client, everything that comes along.
Okay. But Alpha, you nailed it, to be quite frank with you. You said one very important phrase. You need to earn the trust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those 4 words mean one heck of a lot. How in the heck do you do that? How do you earn people's trust? Right?
Right.
How do you earn it? And I mean, you can't earn it just by sitting on a Zoom call like this and blah, 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 blah. You can't do that. Okay. They're going to judge you for what you really are, what your values are, what you stand for, what you believe in. Okay. And if any of those things are a little bit out of whack with what they're thinking, remember what I said before. Do I trust you? Do I trust you enough to open up and tell you? And do I trust you enough to solve my problem? Those things are there. They click, 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 clicking away all the time, right? And
Right.
you're being judged all the time by a potential customer, all the time. So that leads me to one other thing, well, actually not one, I could probably give you 50, but listen, a few, right? The next step, can I do this, Alpha?
Please go ahead.
You got me on a roll. Just shut me up when you're ready, right? The key
All
thing
right.
is this. You need, more than anything else, to be real.
Mm.
You need to be authentic. Stop trying. This is the big problem many people have. They try to copy other people who are successful. Okay?
Right.
It will not work. You are not them. Okay? You be the best imperfect you that you can be. You will never be perfect. Nobody is, right?
Right.
So that's the first thing. Be real. Be authentic. Be the best perfect person, imperfect person you can. To do that means you've got to be a consistent learner. You've got to be open enough to accept that there are things that you need to do that you haven't done before. Right?
Right.
Sometimes they will be uncomfortable. But if you want to grow, right, then you've got to get outside your comfort zone. Otherwise, you're never going to go anywhere. People who are just sitting there because they're scared to make a change are not going to. If you're that sort of person, do not become an entrepreneur. Please do yourself a favor. Go and work for somebody else, because you won't do it. You won't make it. You have to be the person who's prepared to put skin in the game. You have to be the person who's prepared to stand outside their comfort zone and really take a risk on yourself. Okay? If you can't do that, if you don't have that characteristic and trait, you really are not an entrepreneur. Okay? I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm trying to tell you the honest truth. I mean, nothing can be further from falsehood than those people who say, I can show you how to make money online in just 1 week. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. And there's a million of them running around right now saying, I can show you how to earn 6 figures and
Already.
7 figures. And I mean, let's keep the program clean, Alpha. All I'm going to say to you is just ignore them politely, okay? I could say
Right.
something else, but I won't. The other thing is this. Many people are running around saying, you've got to have people know you, like you, and trust you, right? Well, I want to challenge that with you. I know a lot of people, but I'd never buy off them. And I like a lot of people. I wouldn't buy off them either. Trust, yes. But the know and the like business is a lot of rubbish. This is what you need to do. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, one, be prepared to get outside your comfort zone. So you can take it because you're going on a journey. You're going on a transformation, right? And it's not easy. And there'll be times when you feel, oh my God, did I make the right decision? Oh, and when that happens, you need to ask for help. You need to seek out someone who you can, and here's the key word, resonate with. That's the key. If people resonate with you, then they understand. They think, my Alpha really understands me. He gets me. He knows where I'm at. He understands me. And people, that's what people are looking for. They're looking for people who truly understand them and who will listen to them, not try and sell them anything. Just listen to them and get them to get to the truth themselves. Right? That's the key issue. And if you do that, they will resonate with you. And here's the challenge for some people. One of the best ways to get people to resonate with you is to admit that you're imperfect, to show that you've made mistakes. In other words, you are vulnerable, right?
Right.
Because if you show people you are vulnerable, they'll think, wow, he's real. Wow, he's real. That's what's in their head. People don't want to be associated. No disrespect to Tony Robbins if you ever watched this show. I mean, you're up there with the biggest earners in the world, but people don't resonate with Tony Robbins. They admire him and they'll go and pay money to walk through the fire or whatever you want to do, right? But they don't resonate with him because he's just too way out of their league, right? So it can be a person who is prepared to be vulnerable and share that you have made mistakes with people. They'll think, wow. If you are prepared to do that, they will certainly resonate with you because they will know that you understand how they feel. They will know that you get them where they are at right now. That's the point, right? So one, resonate. If they resonate with you, then they'll start to respect you. So rather than know and like, it's resonate and respect. Because when people respect you, we are in a day and age where it's highly skeptical, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of distrust. Things are moving really quickly. There's a lot of instability in terms of a whole range of issues, both political, economically, spiritually, a whole range of issues, right? So you need to have people who actually respect you. If they respect you, it means they are prepared to truly listen to you. Because one, you showed them that you understood them. In other words, you resonated. Then they actually respected you. If they do that, then the third thing, and this is the key to all you young entrepreneurs, if you can get people to resonate with you and respect you, guess what? They're going to be inspired by you. And that is where the money is. Because they now trust you enough to share what's in their heart and trust you enough to solve their problem. Because if they're inspired by you, you've answered those 3 problems they've got in their head.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Be your best imperfect self. Right? That's the most important thing of all.
Beautiful, Peter. Honestly, I'm just sitting here just listening with so much amazement because, I don't think I can even resonate in regards to, in today's business world. And there's just so much going on. And people just.
Absolutely. But remember, Alpha, trust is the new currency. That's the thing we've got to hold on to right now, right? Because there's so much uncertainty, disbelief, and skepticism going on, right? And if you're starting off in business, you're focused. Your real focus is to build a trusted relationship, not sell your stuff. If you build trust, you will get as many customers as you ever want. But if you try to sell, you'll win with everybody else. And they'll just shut the door. No one likes to be sold to, but everybody loves to buy. Think that through. Think that through. All right. So you've got to allow them to make their decision to buy. You don't tell them what they should do. You don't tell them I've got a solution. I've got the biggest whatever it is. You don't talk to them about how many degrees you've got or how long you've been in business or how much you're earning. But you know what? People don't give a darn. They don't care. They don't care. Can you solve my problem? And do I trust you to solve the problem, right? That's the key. So that's why it's really possible. And I know people listen to this will think, this guy from Thailand's crazy. But I can tell you, I've been doing this a long time and it works. You can actually build your business by deliberately not trying to sell anything.
How?
Because what you do is you build resonance, respect, and inspiration by showing them, helping them come to an awareness that they have a particular problem, okay, or a desire. Can be positive or negative, doesn't matter much, right? But they've got to come to the truth, right? If you can help people face and get to the truth, Alpha, you don't have to sell anything. They'll say, Peter, can you help me? They'll say, Peter, where do I go from here? What are they? They are buying signals. I'm not selling anything. They're buying simply because I didn't try and sell them anything.
Right.
All right. I am simplifying that process because that's what I do in my coaching, right? But in reality, let me put it this way: trust turns strangers into soulmates. Think about that. Trust turns strangers into soulmates, and a soulmate is somebody. It can be both intimacy in terms of the dating industry, or it can be from a business perspective, someone who truly resonates and respects you and is inspired by you. That's what it's all about, okay? And I'm suggesting very strongly that you focus and fall in love with the potential client's problem, not your solution. Okay, they don't want to know your solution. They don't want to know how. They want to know, can you do it, and do they trust you enough to do it? They don't want to know what size spanner you're going to use to fix the car. They don't want to know that sort of rubbish, right?
Right.
But people do that. I will give you, we will meet every week for 500 hours. Well, I'm making that up, right? But they'll sell all the how-tos, and people go, oh my God, another one of these guys, right? Instead, get them to sit in their pain and get to the truth. It'll be a memorable experience for them. Now, memorable doesn't mean necessarily an enjoyable one, but it's the honest one. And you're showing people how to get to a point in a conversation with them where they finally become aware, this is my problem. They could have been hiding it from themselves for years, or they're hiding it from their partner for years because they're embarrassed. They're worrying about whether their husband or wife thinking, why are you spending all this money online, for goodness sake? You're not making any money, right? This is the fear structure. And when you get to that truth, when they become aware, yes, that's what my problem is. That's here. So then you say, tell me about it. What's the emotional impact it's going to have? If you've got this problem, whatever it may be, what's the emotional impact? What's the impact on you, on your lifestyle, on your self-belief, on your confidence, on your family, on your workmates, on your everything? What's that going to be like if you don't fix this problem? And get them to think it through. and get them to be honest with themselves, because it's the emotion that makes the decision of whether in fact they're going to solve this problem. If there's no emotion, nothing happens, right?
Right.
Okay. And if there's no emotion, guess what? You haven't got to the truth. You've got to get them to a point when they not only become aware, wow, Alpha, this is the truth, mate. Oh, yeah. But secondly, they've got to own it. It's not your problem, it's their problem.
Right.
And if they own it, Alpha, there's a pretty good chance they might want to fix it. But if they don't own it, they'll blame the government, they'll blame the economy, they'll
Somebody
blame,
has to complain.
they'll blame the weather, they'll blame you and me, blame anything but themselves.
Always somebody has to take the blame. I was reading this book earlier this morning by David Goggins. It's called "You Can't Hurt Me."
Mm.
Thai Navy SEAL, and particularly, it all talks about the idea of giving up, and not giving up, excuse me, where you try multiple times over and over and over again. No matter what, you just don't give up. Just going back to the burning desire again, because in terms of the business world, people tend to see other success and say, okay, why is not that is not me doing it currently? Why not me? They're so busy comparing themselves to other people. And ideally, I want to touch base on this and have my audience member really resonate in the essence of actually being patient and not giving up throughout the whole process.
You never fail until you give up. And when people give up, it's pretty sad, really, when that happens. But they give up because they didn't have the dream right in the first place. If that dream was right and the burning desire was right, they will never give up. Okay? Or Alpha, to be brutally honest with you, they should not have started in the first place, because they don't have the intestinal fortitude to get outside their comfort zone, to make the changes that they need. And that's why they give up. Let me put it another way to you. If someone works with me, for example, or wants to work with me, okay, I'm selective, to be quite frank with you, all right? Because I'm no spring chicken anymore. I don't want to work 70 hours a week. But at the same time, I'm a giver. I'd like to help. I truly like to help people. And when we have this discussion about what's really important to you, and we've got to what I think the truth is, and I'll say to them, oh, but let me get this right. Did I understand you right? That this is the problem, whatever it is, ABC, right? And this is the emotional impact. Am I right? Did I get this right? And 99.9% of the time, Alpha will say, yes, right? So then I'll say, they're completely unexpected. And that's what you need to do. If you are an entrepreneur, look for ways to differentiate yourself. And what you do is then you say, prove it to me. What do you mean, prove it to me? I said, no, I told you my interpretation. I want to look deep into your eyes. I want to hear your voice modulation. I want to see you tell me and tell yourself what you truly believe the truth to be. Right? They don't expect that question. They don't think, why? I said, just do yourself a favor. I want you to truly get to your truth. It's not my truth, it's your truth. Give it to me again. Prove it to me that what you told me is right. And that means you're proving it to yourself. Now, this is very unusual. Very few people do this, okay? And I'm not saying it's easy, by the way. It's not easy, but it's extremely impactful. So when you get them to tell you what it is again, and if you believe them, right? The next question in most people's minds would be, what do you think it is, Alpha? I mean, I'll put it this way to you. I can say, Alpha, okay, I believe you. Okay, thank you. I believe you. Thank you so much for being so brutally honest and sharing with me, such a trustful fashion, such a confidential thing that you may not even told your wife yet. And I truly respect that. So thank you. Tell me, Alpha, is this something you want to fix once and for all, or are you going to live with it? Your call. Your call. Okay. I'm okay either way. It doesn't matter to me because it's your issue. So you want to fix it once and for all and stop all this emotional crap, right? Or are you going to live with it? And I'm happy. Which one do you want to do?
Get it out the way.
All right. What that is doing is making them make a decision, not me trying to sell them anything. They are trying to come, what is really the best decision in my interest, right? That's why I said earlier to you, you don't need to sell anything. They have got to be in a situation when they decide what they want, rather than you don't persuade them, you don't convince them, none of that. That's last century rubbish, right? Don't do that. That is totally ingenuous. All right. So if they say, Alpha, I want to fix it once and for all because I'm sick of all this emotional stuff and hiding it from my wife and whatever it is, right? Okay, fine. We can do that for you. But then you don't say, this is the solution. Don't do that. You've got to keep the ball in their court again. I'm sharing things that some people pay a lot of money for because I bring it off of it, doesn't it? What happens is this. If you showed them, if they said to you, I want you to help me, can you fix it? Oh, well, I think so. And you then start talking about your solution to them straight away, trust is gone again. Because then they'll think, you set me up.
True.
Took me down this place. You made me vulnerable. You made me exposed. I shared my heart and soul with you, and now you're selling me. Right? That's the danger. So you do not do that. You never come in with your solution. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to try and sell anything. You simply say to them, would you be interested, Alpha, if I showed you a series of steps that you need to take yourself through to get from here, where your problem is, to here, where there's no emotional issues? Would you be interested in seeing that? Okay. And they always say yes, right? And it's like a roadmap or a blueprint or a series of steps, whatever it is, okay? And you can create your own, okay? And the idea basically is you take them through, this is what you need to do in order to overcome the problem you've got now. But you don't give them the solution. You just tell them this is what you need to do. You don't give them the house. That's what they pay for. All right? You just show them what they need to do. And then at the end of that, say, well, is there any questions on the steps you think you need to take? Any of those you weren't sure about? And by the way, you give them a visual copy of it. And if you want, and even the listeners are wanting to hear that, you can get a copy of mine. It's peterbeckenham.com/roadmap. That's one. I've got 5 of them. But have a look at it. People, when I'm talking to them, they can see it. They can actually see it in front of them. So it's not just audio, but it's also visual. And that means it comes home much stronger. Step 1, they can see step 1. Okay, and Alpha's telling me about this. Then step 2, okay, we're going to do this. And step 3, okay. And it just maybe 10 minutes. This is the process you need to follow. This is what I've done with people who have the same challenge as you. Do you have any questions on the process? Not do you have any questions on the solution, because you haven't talked about it. On the process. See the difference?
So what I'm hearing right now is that the process is far more important than the result itself.
Oh, well, the result, no. You've got to get a result for them, but you don't tell them, you don't talk about how you're going to get the result.
Mm-hmm.
All right? What you're doing is selling the steps. And let me help you understand the point. Let's go the other option. If they said, rather than, Alpha, I'm sick of it, I've got to solve it once and for all, because I am really sick of it. If they said instead, look, Alpha, thanks very much, but I think I'll live with it. But thanks very much, which means see you later, alligator, right? And Well, that's your call. You can make your decision. I'm happy either way. It's your problem. You're walking away with your problem. I mean, I can't help you. But at the same time, may I ask you, and always be permission-based, may I ask you a simple question? Did you really tell yourself the truth? Is that really the truth for you? Because if it is really the truth for you, how are you going to live with it? Can you help me understand that bit before you go? Just help me with that bit. From one person to another, from one heart to another, explain to me how you're going to live with all this emotional crap that you just told me about. Right? Alpha, that's not the issue. There's an elephant in the room. Right? And the elephant in the room is what, Alpha?
You talking money.
Yes. They want to solve the problem, but they're not sure whether they can afford to pay for it.
Products, money.
Money, 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 right? And this is the greatest fear many young entrepreneurs face when it comes to running their business, because they say it's going to cost you $25, $100, $2,000, whatever it is, okay? It's going to cost you that. And they wouldn't, 9 times out of 10, they'll try to negotiate with you, right? Well, I can't, what about this? What about that? What about that? So you can avoid all that, right? And this is what I'd say to people. Are you worried about the cost? And because if they haven't said it, I'll put it out there. I'll be completely transparent. Are you worried about the cost? Is that what it is? Because if it is, just tell me. I understand. I'm not going to make you buy anything. But if it's a worry, just tell me. And most of the times they say, well, yes, it is, because I don't think we can afford it. Okay. Well, Mr. Potential Client, let me tell you, there's no cost at all. How do you think about that? They think, well, come on.
Like, look over your shoulder. Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
Come on, what's going on here?
Stop playing with me.
Stop playing games with me, right? No. Let me share this with you. There are 3 levels of investment that you have to make. Right? The first 2 are the most critical ones of all, and you control them 100%. Okay? The first one is this. Do you have the courage to get outside your comfort zone, to make the transformation you need to go from here to get rid of this? If you don't have the courage to do that, I can't help you. If you do have the courage, convince me that you've got the courage. Come on, convince me. Secondly, the second investment is time. I cannot create a transformation for you in 1 minute, 1 week, 1 hour, whatever it is. I don't know, whatever your particular area is, right? But there's a period of time required for you to get them from here to here. So then they need to be prepared to commit the time to enable the transformation to take place, right?
Right.
If the answer to either of those questions is no, then say, well, thank you, Alpha. I'm sorry. Nice meeting you, but take care. I wish you well. Okay, but I can't help you. If the answer to both those questions is yes, okay, I said, well, the third one is what you're worried about, right? And that is, you think it's going to cost you. I said, well, no. You are going to invest in you in order for me to spend my time with you, right?
Wow.
If you're not prepared to invest in you, then I'm not prepared to share my time with you either.
My question for that, Peter, like, how do people invest in themselves? Like, can you give us some key components here so they can understand?
What I'm getting at is this. Let's assume that you had some sort of offer, and let's say the offer was $5,000, right? What, $2,000, whatever. I'm not sure what your marketplace is, but let's say it's $2,000, right? And you got to be totally open and tell people, look, the investment you need to make in yourself in order for me to share the time with you is X. up front. However, I'm prepared because I truly believe that you have this problem. You've told me the truth. I truly believe that you're prepared to transform yourself. I truly believe you're prepared to put the time commitment in. Let's go 1 month at a time. So forget the 5,000. Let's just start small. And at the end of 30 days, then let's make a mutual decision what you want to do. So the level of commitment is that much smaller. And when you have a level of commitment like this, but with this in terms of what's the value to them of not having these emotional issues? Or put another way, if you don't take any action, what's going to happen to you and your business? Right?
Anywhere. It's kind of
right.
like, yeah.
You're down the chute, right? That's what it amounts to. If you don't take any action, you're down the chute. So is this amount we're talking about for just 1 month worth the effort? It's your decision. Again, I still haven't talked about what I'm doing. I haven't sold them anything. I'm just talking conceptually, right?
Right.
So which one do you want? Do you want to pay this little bit here for a month and try it out? Okay. And then we decide at the end of 1 month we're going to keep going. Or you just want to walk away with your problem and this time next year you have the same problem or even worse. That's your call. I don't mind. So when I said before, you got to give people a memorable experience, you do, but sometimes it's not pleasant. Sometimes it's tough love. Tough love.
True.
So for those people who are contemplating being an entrepreneur, not only do you need to have persistence and consistency, as I said before, but you need to have the guts to ask the right questions, not to pressure people, not to persuade them, not to convince them, simply to get to the truth.
Oh.
You probably don't hear this from very many people who are in the sales industry, because this is completely diametrically opposed to typical traditional sales, right? I know that. I know. But at the end, you can walk away with integrity because you've done nothing wrong. You've helped them identify a problem, even if they don't become a client. They'll become an advocate because they actually enjoyed the fact that you did the right thing. You didn't go boom and try and sell them something. Or they did become a client of yours because they want you, because they trust you and they believe in you, and they're happy with that. So you can't lose. That's my sermon for the day.
Absolutely, Peter. And again, thank you so much, guys. These are some really key components here, and it's a warm, welcoming privilege and honor to have Mr. Peter Beckenham on board on the Next Generation Business Talk. Some of the things we just talked about regarding having that honesty within yourself, that integrity, and that burning desire to get up and go out there and do what you want to do. Nevertheless, don't give up. Don't stop going towards your goals. All these things right here. It takes some time. Go through this audio again, play it over a couple of times so it can actually digest and sit still. Just like myself here, I'm doing more listening and talking than normal, because why? This is some very key, important information is being given out here, guys. And to have this platform to share all this information is key. I'll have Peter's information on the drop down below. Most important, Peter, do you have any last words for us before we get going here?
Year one. If you're an entrepreneur, the very best way to succeed is to build a community around you, right? That community has got to resonate with you. Remember those words. That community has got to respect you. They may not be clients initially, but you know what? You've got a community around you who resonate and respect you. And if that's the case, that is your strength. That is your strength. It's not your product solution, okay? You don't need any sales scripts. If people are trying to sell you sales scripts, just shut the door very quickly, okay? Because that's not the way that people want to play anymore, right?
Right.
But build a community around you of like-minded people who have same values as you. And you can do it on social media easily. That's what it's for, right? Build a community of people around you that you resonate and they resonate with you. And then you can seek them for help as well as they can seek you for help. And that is a beautiful way to start a business because they will tell you what they need because they trust you. And you may not be able to solve their problem, but you find someone else who can solve their problem and you're still building that relationship with them. All right. Because I can tell you, they will think the world of you if you help them with somebody else, and they will definitely want to say, you better go and talk to Alpha because he did an incredible thing for me. Okay. He went out of his way to do this. In other words, you created a memorable moment, a memorable experience for them. That's the key. Trust, memorable experiences, and resonate and respect with the community. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Peter. And again, guys, thank you so much for being a warm, welcoming guest on the Next Generation Business Talk. I'm your host, Alpha Freeman. Guys, please subscribe, like, comment below. More content like this will be shared. And so this content particularly talks more about the entrepreneurship world and unleashing your pure potentials. You know, play this audio again over and over again. Listen to it. Really listen to it. Some of the key information is being given here from Mr. Beckman himself. And most importantly, comment down and I have all this information down for you in a drop down below. My name is Alpha Freeman. I'm the host of Next Generation Business Talk, and I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in on this episode. Again, it's been a warm privilege and honor to have Mr. Beckman on board. Thank you guys, and coming straight to you soon. Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us on Next Gen Talk Beyond Business. As we wrap up this special episode dedicated to Peter Beckham's daughter, Am, we want to express our deepest gratitude for your support and your generosity. Your contributions to the GoFundMe campaign will have a lasting impact on their lives. Remember, the journey beyond business is about more than just success. It's about compassion, community, and coming together to uplift one another in times of need. Let's continue to stand by Peter and Am as they navigate this challenging chapter. From all of us here at Next Gen Talk, thank you for your kindness, your support, and your unwavering spirit. Together, we can make a difference.